Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Escucha. My name is Abby Herrera, and we have a very special guest for you on the show today.
My name is Dulce Galvez. I'm journalism major, and most frequently people know me. People don't know me, probably recognize me.
Thank you for coming on the show today, Dulce, and for being part of the semester's first official episode. We do have a very heavy and stressful topic on the agenda today. As those of you know, it is our job to cover topics that affect the Hispanic and Latinx communities, and the current ICE raids and mass deportations are no different. As of today, January 31st, Donald Trump has been in office for 11 days. On day one in office, we saw Trump sign many executive orders, one including sending military troops directly to the southern border. In a statement made by Secretary of Defense Robert Salesses on January 20th to protect the security and safety of the United States citizens, President Trump declared that a national emergency exists at the southern border of the United States. The president directed me to take all appropriate action to support the activities of the Secretary of Homeland Security in obtaining complete operational control at the southern border in the United States. Since Inauguration Day, there has been an increase in ICE arrests all around the country. It is said that ICE and the Trump administration are attempting to make examples of sanctuary cities. Sanctuary cities are cities that limit or refuse cooperation with federal immigration authorities, and cities like New York, Chicago, and Los Angeles, to name a few, have been at the center of these raids. The Washington Post reports ICE officials have been told to aim for 1,200 to 1,500 daily arrests, including at least 75 arrests by each of the agency's roughly 24 field offices. Prior to Trump's inauguration, ICE completed an average of 282 arrests per day in September. But on Monday, January 27th, ICE reported to have arrested 1,171 people, which is the largest amount of arrests since Trump made it into office. Mass deportations have happened along with these arrests. The U.S. has sent migrants back to countries like Colombia and Guatemala. And Dulce, I know this is a lot of information to take in, and you actually suggested having an episode dedicated to this topic. So how are you feeling about this entire situation?
It's been really tough. I haven't kept the mind focused in my school activities and classes. I haven't been able to see my family because they live in the cross-border range of USC and the cross-border range of downtown LA. Mm-hmm. And it's been kind of rough with that going on. Should not be able to get in contact with them, and I do text them and we call each other, but still kind of rough on my behalf. I'm kind of not be able to see them or hug them. Mm-hmm. It's kind of rough with having to deal with separation and anxiety from family.
Yeah, not only just being away from family and making sure that they're okay, but also making sure that you yourself are okay as well. Like you were telling me earlier that you were afraid to go certain places because those places have previously known to have, ICE sightings, right?
Right.
Yeah. So what should those who support these arrests and deportations know about the people it's affecting?
I think that people should have a clear mind because they have family history of Irish history or European history that goes way back, and not having a clear mind of embarrassment that goes along with them, not having to hear from Latinos or the people who are not can't see their families, and it gets kind of hard on non-Americans, and I just think that's an embarrassment to Americans who don't have a single thought of heart and soul of what's happening, that it's impacting everyone, not just non-citizens but citizens alike as well. Mm-hmm. Everyone has history of immigration and deportation in their past family history, and I just think that kind of sad and embarrassment.
Yeah, I mean, it is just really tough You know, as someone who came from immigrants, it's hard seeing people not want your people here, regardless if they have citizenship or not. It's just really disheartening, and it's even more disheartening knowing just what you said, that we all came here as immigrants at the start of, you know, the development of this country. We all came as immigrants, either from Europe, and then, you know, more people started coming from different parts of the world. It's so just disheartening that it's your people specifically that are being targeted, because no one thinks a non-Latino or non-Hispanic person can also be an immigrant, can also be here illegally.
It's kind of like disheartening that they don't have like a peace of mind that we are also human beings and they need to be protected as well, that we have hearts and minds that need to be taken care of, that we are very like discouraged from all these deportations, and what Trump has done is not like very disheartening for families and for children alike.
Do you have any advice for those who are undocumented or may have family and friends that are here undocumented?
I would say my advice is to have each other's arms and take care of each other. And I say if you could find a red card that it's given out to anyone or given out to communities. I have seen that in my neighborhood of South Central LA, that there are red cards given out to family shops and family markets and or laundromats, that they all have cards. So please be in hand and like reach out to families, communities, and everyone that's affected by this.
Yeah. And about the red cards, you actually found some available at the Dream Success Center on campus, right?
Right.
Yeah. So if you're unaware of what a red card is, a red card is started by redcardorders.com is where you can order them. It is quite literally a red card with rights of what to say if you are ever in a situation where you come into contact with ICE. It is written in both English and Spanish, but they also have available other languages as well, right?
In Mandarin.
So these resources are available to anyone here at CSULB, right?
Yes, you can find it in the Dream Success Center at the Shakarian Family Center upstairs.
Perfect, thank you. So what do you encourage people to know or do if they do ever come into contact with ICE?
I encourage to have a deep set of mind. Do not contact them. Do not be near them. Take a video or take a photo that you see them. Do not interact with them. But please be in hand to have a community with you when you are like near or like further away from them. Do not interact with ICE at all or be near them.
I highly encourage people to know their rights in case they ever come into contact with ICE. The U.S. Constitution protects anyone living in the United States, including non-citizens and undocumented immigrants. The CSULB Dream Success Center is currently passing out Know Your Rights red cards to students, as Dulce and I were just talking about, to help those exercise their rights, especially if they may come into contact with ICE. So if you or someone you know needs support, the CSULB Dream Success Center is available. Their mission is to provide holistic services, resources, and support to members of the beach community impacted by this new immigration policy. Just going to read off of what's on the actual red card for you. It is 4 major points that you should know or you should exercise if you were to come in contact with ICE. The first one, I do not wish to speak with you, answer your questions, or sign or hand you any documents based on my Fifth Amendment rights under the United States Constitution. Point 2. I do not give you permission to enter my home based on my Fourth Amendment rights under the United States Constitution unless you have a warrant to enter, signed by a judge or a magistrate with my name on it that you slide under the door. So you do not have to let ICE into your home. You do not have to open the door for them. You could speak to them through a closed door. Third point, I do not give you permission to search any of my belongings based on my Fourth Amendment right. And the final point, I choose to exercise my constitutional rights. So those red cards are very important. What do you take from just having them or having them available to you, Dulce?
I feel like these red cards give a sense of security to me, and to if I were to approach ICE or like see ICE around local Long Beach area or my South Central area of my place of living, I feel like these red cards give me like a sense of belonging with protection. Please be aware and taking care of everyone's safety around the local Los Angeles area and local Long Beach area.
Okay, well, thank you again, Dulce, for appearing on the show, and thank you again for pitching this idea. It is very important that we get this information out there to our fellow students and to anyone else who may be listening.
We are in Escucha. Listen to us on your local Spotify or YouTube.
Yes.
Yes, stay connected
with
news.
I couldn't have said it better myself. That's all we have for you today on Escucha. As Dulce said, connect with us. Where?
At your local Spotify and YouTube.
And what's our...
Don't forget, Ayenye Escucha, your number one news podcast.
Thank you so much, Dulce. We will see you next Tuesday.